As the clear blue of twilight reveals the brightest stars, the blackbirds cease their threats with spurts of notes before falling silent. Now the blackbird family is huddled up in sleep only a metre or so away from me in their nest, a cup of grass and twigs behind a screen of ivy. The bumblebees have retreated too, safe in the holes of the dry stone walls. In English folklore, April means to open, and while lilacs and hawthorn trees start to bloom, so does the sky. Tonight there will be shooting stars, specks of sand glowing in flames 60 miles above my head, at speeds of up to 160,000 miles per hour, all the while I lie on the grass of my garden in the English countryside. It has become a ritual. I frantically scan the sky for movement and then pick a spot to monitor, like a gambler putting all their chips on one number. Sometimes I wait for half the night, my eyelids pinned apart in anticipation to start with, drooping as sleep tries to shut them. I falter, my stare searching for the sky before returning to the spot I have invested in. At some point, all of a sudden, a shooting star appears, existing in incandescence in my peripheral vision. A mute roar of delight pierces through me as I lock onto the dark space a streak of fire has fragmented into, gone, just like that, a split second. Addicted, I am unable to stop staring just in case another comes. While my mind is wide awake, my body has happily sunk into the grass, rooted to the ground, anchoring me to earth. Late spring always reminds me more than any other time of year that I am human, the very label of existence associated etymologically with the Latin word humus, meaning the earth. It is not just the shooting stars that make me feel earthbound, but the migratory birds between me and them, emerging like miniature fighter jets each springtime. First the swallows, normally before St. George's Day, then the house martins, and finally the swifts, bringing summer with them. Little dark shapes peppering skies with black, distinctive with their sickle-curved wings, they fly high up in the air in unrivaled aerobatic displays. They have come from far away, 6-week journeys flying thousands of miles from Africa. They've left swarms of termites above tropical grasslands, choosing different routes to fly depending on where they are going. Utilizing the wind currents, they followed rivers and coastlines, many crossing the Sahara and into Europe over the Strait of Gibraltar. After having to contend with storms and birdcatchers' nets in the Mediterranean, they've carried on into Britain. Some fly further to Scandinavia. Some even go as far as the Arctic Circle. And some stay in the skies of England. Adults go back to the place they came from, the exact place, down to the very nest where they raised their young the year before, home. Somewhere in the sky I am staring at, there are swifts who are yet to arrive. On their way from Africa, they are sleeping high up in the sky. A distance out of reach of raptors, above the clouds, they are able to shut off half their brains and sleep on the wing. Their lives are almost entirely lived in flight, more than any other species of bird. An unfathomable existence, more wondrous than shooting stars, their lives have remained a mystery far longer than meteors. For centuries, swifts were known as a devil's bird because they have a habit of spiralling upwards above church towers and cathedral spires at dusk in the Vesper's flight, their screams fading with the light. So inaccessible was this that people believed them to be calling out the souls of the damned for the devil to collect. But the truth is that for 60 million years, swifts have slept in the skies. They are not delivering the souls of the damned. They are feathered creatures of the most elite design, able to stay airborne for 10 months or more. I shift my body, pretending I'm not getting cold, putting my hands into the pockets of my coat, trying to imagine what it would be like to sleep above the clouds, to live in the sky. There is something about being in an ordinary garden that makes the thought of sleeping swifts unexpected, as though they can't possibly exist at the same time, let alone in the same view, as rows of cottages. Cottages full of people who are curled up on sofas or gathered in kitchens eating late-night bowls of cereal or snoring under duvets. And yet, above televisions and baths, dining tables and computers, bunk beds and 4 posters, shooting stars graze the skies and sleeping swifts glide. Chapter 1.